earth? It's a Tuesday today. And what's today got in store for me? Well, Darjeeling leaf tea. So good. And it's proper tea, you know. It's leaf tea. And the way you make that sort of stuff is you either have a teapot for the leaf tea, so you basically stick a couple of spoonfuls into this teapot, or what I do, because it's just me that drinks it and I only really have one cup a day, and to use a pot of it would really just be quite wasteful, is I stick a small spoonful or so in a tea strainer, stick it in at the top of the cup, fill the cup up to level off with the tea strainer. About 5 or 10 minutes later, empty it out, drink that shit up. So good. And that stuff actually came straight from Darjeeling in a little foil wrapper. Foil and plastic, I think, because it was all stapled shut. And that was when my wife went out to India. She brought me back a packet of that, and it's so good. And there's a lot there as well. It's filled up like a little tin I've got. I clearly chose the best time to film. So yeah, that's a nice little indulgence as well, and every now and then I get a craving for something absolutely ridiculous, so I thought I'd indulge my recent random craving, to be honest, for sushi. And the last time I had sushi, I was a little bit not in favour of it, and it was the same sort of stuff as well. It was from Tesco's, and some slightly more cultured people than I said that that's probably not the best place to start with sushi, that I should really go to, you know, a sushi restaurant or find somewhere up in Norwich, which is quite close to where I live. I'm going to close that window. And I haven't done that yet. I just wanted to air out the place. And I haven't done that yet. And a few nights ago I got another craving for sushi, so I thought, while we were in Tesco's today, we were doing another fairly big shop, and I thought, yeah, you know what, I'll have a try, since I'm being really, really fucking good with my finances. So, we'll see how that goes later. I've been mentioning for a few videos now that I've been looking to upgrade my keyboards. Forgot that was on. Specifically this one directly behind me. Not that I would retire this one, because I really like the sound and play and, you know, the flexibility this keyboard has, so this will always stay in my arsenal. But if there's going to be a main synth keyboard sampling module that I do have that has all the sounds that I would ever want to rely on, it's the Korg Triton. So, not to rehash anything, but yeah, I'm constantly looking for Korg Tritons and kind of getting the best idea of price, and again, a few days ago another one came up for £250, normally retailing between £300 and £400, so there's me sat there going, could I make this work? So I nip down to the cash point, see how much I've got in there, and think, if I buy that now, I'm going to be stuffed for paying my council tax. So, good boy me decided to leave it, as opposed to trying to make it work, which would probably consist of selling a load of my shit, getting an overdraft, that sort of thing, and I just don't want to deal with it. I'll buy it within the next couple of weeks, I think it's looking like, and then I'll have it, and I'll be able to gig with it and make awesome sounds, and take it into the studio, which, segue, I got the last of the demos finished last night. Mostly. I sat in front of a microphone for a couple of hours and belted out some vocals and, you know, politely sung some of them. Just to sort of make up the few vocal tracks I thought that really needed to be on the demos. And it's the whole thing. I sent across, I think, 68 minutes worth of material to Nico, the producer. And we're meeting up tomorrow to talk through it all. We're going to be making notes and just listening through, basically to see song per song what the parallels are, what could be recorded from time to time, you know, what do I need to do session per session, across the whole of the album, so that we can just get done. And it'll be interesting as well to see how it pans out, because I don't know if we're thinking, you know, do a song over a couple of sessions and move on to the next one, or do we get all the guitar tracks down, and then all of the instrumentals, and then all the keyboards, and then work on the vocals, which will probably be the way. Because there was an idea being spitballed that he said that one of the things you can do for recording guitar tracks is lay everything down clean. And I think Devin Townsend does that, who is one of my favouriteest, produceriest people of all time ever. I'm a little bit of a fanboy, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I pledged for the Casualties of Gore campaign. I like it, alright. I loved Ghost and Key, so yeah, I think I might as well support it. Apparently, I think I recall in an interview somewhere he said that he does that. Which makes a lot of sense to do that, to be honest. I mean, I do that, kind of. I lay that down onto a clean DI track, but I will likely play it to just my standard distorted guitar tone sort of thing. You know, the preset that I've saved, and I just whack out every single session I do a songwriting. So, be interesting to see how we tackle that, whether we're going to split the output to an amp, but just record the DI, so that then we can get an idea of it, or what, and you know, don't know if we're going to multi-track it. I know my main reason for getting him on board is to really kick my ass about how well I'm playing stuff. Give me pointers and tips, what would sound better, how I'm playing it is shit. And for vocals as well, he's hopefully going to really get on my case about vocals, which I need. Because listening back to some of the vocal work I've done for the demos of the album, I'm sat there and going, oh, I fucking hate it. You know? And I do. I absolutely despise this album at the moment, but then I'll go back and listen to it, and I'll think, oh god, this is great, we're going to do fine. And then, you know, 3 hours later, I'll listen to it and go, oh, I hate it! It's like, I'm giving the tracks to him and having faith that he can say, okay, this is what we're going to do when we record them, because all we're taking in there are going to be just the absolute basic files. There's going to be like our version of the Bible, more or less. We'll always refer to that particular scripture when we come to record new material. But basically, we're going to have the MIDI files of the drums, and that's it. Possibly some keyboard takes, you know? Because it all needs to happen again, and it'll be really great because it's happening in a room that isn't this. And I am recording new material in this room, and I am hopefully producing a couple of albums of mine in here. But this one is the next big one I really want to get recorded there. The one I was showcasing a little while ago in these vlogs, I think, Sphinx. That's one that I'm hopefully like doing between here and my office at work. And that really is just, like the Alien Head, I'll work on that until it's done, but I won't obsess over it, you know. I haven't listened to them in a couple of weeks. I pulled up the first track for about 30 seconds earlier today, but I haven't heard the songs for a long while, and it's good for me to step away from that frame of mind, and then if I find myself with a few days of, I could do some guitar retakes for this, that'll be great, because, again, what I've laid down on some guitar takes of the album aren't really working for me, and I'm sat there going, I hate it. So, yeah. Right at this point, though, today, on a Tuesday, I'm going to be absolutely embracing my day off. Like, not even songwriting. I might later. Probably not. Very briefly, before I do move on, I wrote an amazing song last night. Or in the last few days, I've written some amazing content that I'm going to keep way under the wing until I know I've got an album's worth of similarly stapled content, because it's something really special, I think, that I'm working on. And it's not at all the industrial heavy stuff that I've been working. There is, you know, metal elements to it, but it's closer to prog, and it's closer to ambient, and it's a lot closer to Pink Floyd and Porcupine Tree than any of my other stuff. It's way, way, way further back, or in completely different directions than stuff I'm doing at the moment. So, as far as today goes, back on topic, I am going to be playing PlanetSide 2, because that was downloading while I was out shopping for groceries. And I got into watching a few videos here and there of PlanetSide 2, but never really found anyone that was, you know, terribly engaging for it. I think Bed Bananas and that group of people have been the only really compelling source of entertainment for PlanetSide, and that's just because they have a laugh with it. So I'm going to see how I can cope on a server just by my own some. See if I can get a vague kick out of blowing the fuck out of just thousands of people. That's not really a sentence I ever thought I'd ever say. Moving on. So, yeah. That's going to be my afternoon. And then this evening, I'm going to make a spaghetti bolognese. Really nicely like. And then we're going to sit in front of the television and watch Kirsty's Best of Both Worlds, I think. Channel 4, possibly? As well as Batman Begins. Because I fucking love Nolan's Batmans. I love anything Christopher Nolan does, you know. I really, really, really did enjoy The Dark Knight Rises, though I know a lot of people didn't. I really enjoyed it. And the singer of my band, fucking loves Batman, and again, Nolan, and he said that the ending was the thing that really annoyed him, because you didn't need to see, like, the cheesiness of, oh, look, he's got a life outside of Batman, hooray! And he raises an interesting point, and I'll have to watch it through again because I haven't seen it since the cinema. I'll have to see if, keeping that in mind, whether that does change my opinion of things. You know, but tonight, Batman Begins. I'm all up for, you know, amazing Batman. I mean, because that's the only Nolan Batman film that ever really painted Gotham as a really dark and grimy city. Because in 2 and 3 it's just Chicago, basically. Slightly modified skyline, kind of. In the 3rd one it was closer to New York, so God knows. But anyway, it's good stuff. I hope you're all having a wonderful time. I'll see you a lot later. I'll hopefully be able to upload something before I go on a meeting with the producer tomorrow, isn't he? He's going to be lovely, right?